there, first graders. Today we're going to work on a shape monster truck. The first thing that I'm going to do though is make a place for my monster truck to be driving. If you don't have a brown piece of paper, it's no big deal. You can just draw this right on your white piece of paper. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to make, actually I want to think about it this way, a line that's kind of a bumpy dirt ground. Maybe there's a jump for my monster truck to go off of. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut that line out and then glue this brown piece onto my white piece of paper so my monster truck has an arena. Now we need to talk basic shapes that we're going to be using. So shape is an element of art, and it's when a line connects to itself. A lot of these shapes have names. We're going to be using a trapezoid. It's skinnier on the top, wider on the bottom. The sides slant out. A rectangle for the base of the car, two little squares for the bumpers, and of course nice big circles for our monster truck tires. So to help me out with those, I looked around my kitchen and my house. I have this jar of sunflower seeds, yummy in salads, also make an awesome circle tracer. So I'm gonna go ahead because I wanted really big monster truck wheels to start here. And trace that on here twice. Now, if you have smaller items to trace, you of course could have more than one monster truck in your picture. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add some kind of treads around here. And I'll do it to the other wheel later when I'm in time lapse. But I wanted you to see how I'm adding this. Kind of like little rectangles or squares going around the entire circle. And usually on the inside of the tire, inside here, there's some bolts or screws holding this big tire onto the axle, which is the bar that connects the two tires underneath. So there is my tire on one side. I also found some post-it notes in my kitchen. It turns out when I kind of fold this a little bit to make it a little bit smaller, it's a pretty good tracer for me or guide for about how big I want the top of my monster truck. I'm gonna pull that away though because I want the sides coming out slanted. This is my trapezoid. And then here's where my rectangle comes in. I'm gonna change this just a little and curve the front. And then here's where my bumpers, although I'm not sure if they're crashing into everything, why they really need bumpers, are going to be. Now, here's where some of your own details are going to come in. If you looked at the images of the monster truck, some of them even look like animals. Some of them have flames and designs on them. You really get to decide. I'm going to be putting in my front windshield and kind of one of those like cage windows on the side. They usually have some netting here so that the person doesn't fall out. And then from there, while I go into time lapse, I'm going to be decorating my monster truck the way I would like. You, of course, are going to make some different decisions. All right, happy drawing, and we'll talk about coloring after the time lapse. So you can see I started with very basic shapes, trapezoid, rectangle, circles, and now I have added some personality and some details to make my own monster truck. At this point, you can color these. You certainly could use paint, marker, crayons, colored pencil to make these come to life. I'm gonna go into time lapse again to color my. Alright, so I have my monster truck on fire. You can see it has an angry eye and some flames, all colored. One fun trick that you can do if you have any kind of water-based marker, which is like a Crayola marker, most markers you're gonna have around your house. When I do these sprays of mud here, if I have a cup of water and a brush, I don't even need watercolor paint. You can see when I put this on top, that's naturally going to bleed or spray a little, and I can actually make it look like On Fire is spraying mud all over from his tires as he goes around at the Monster Truck Derby. And I can even have some of that mud spraying down here. Just make sure you don't get the water anywhere you use marker, that you don't want that bleeding or that spreading around to kind of happen. But I do think that if he is at this monster truck rally, he's not looking completely clean anymore. I'm gonna have some mud up on Unfire. For those of you that don't have the ability to take pictures with whatever device you're using, I did put the basic shapes for a monster truck on a background in Seesaw. It's on the second or third slide. Otherwise, if you're able to do this on paper and you want to share a photo with me, I'd love to see what creations you come up with for your monster truck rally. All right, have a great week, and I will talk to you next week.